PR's Top Pros Talk, the evolution of food and beverage brands, featuring Rachel Kay, founder and CEO of Rachel Kay Public Relations. And here's your host, Doug Simon.
The pandemic has caused many changes across the board for Americans, but it's also changed behavior of people and how they consume and purchase food and beverage. Can you explain a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been volatile like most industries. The pandemic had a significant impact on consumer grocery buying behaviors. What was unique about this industry is they weren't all bad. People were packing their pantries with staples and exploring new aisles that they weren't previously frequenting. And with restaurants closed, many of us used the time as a period of culinary exploration, trying new things and sharpening our home chef skills. I know I did.
One of the things that changed also is how consumers purchased their food direct to consumer, getting a huge boost.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the biggest shift. Sites like Amazon and retailers like Walmart were seeing huge increases in online food and beverage purchases. Brands were scrambling to set up their own D2C sites, and some brands were foregoing traditional brick and mortar strategy altogether. People are entering stores once again, but research shows this was a shift that's here to stay for many consumers.
Yeah, so how does that affect communication strategies? Obviously in a big way, but what are some of the ways that you're approaching that with your clients?
Well, the great thing for comms professionals pivoting to meet this new landscape is that we have a lot more robust methods for demonstrating our value to clients than we did in the past. Long-term awareness building is obviously still a core objective for us, but for those clients who want to see a direct impact on ROI, we have ways to track that now. So many of our activities are now focused more online as opposed to TV and print, which was the focus in the past. We're harnessing the power of affiliate links to not only track our sales impact, but to drive consumer purchase. Anything shelf stable, it's definitely a must. Media outlets lost advertising income, as we know. So many of them had to replace it with something. So they're capitalizing on selling platforms. Good examples are CNN Underscored and Wirecutter, but even shows like Today and Good Morning America have ramped up their product segments to take advantage. And finally, integrated programs that merge traditional PR, social, and influencer marketing can pack a significant punch in a world of fear of missing out, impulse purchases, one-click shopping, subscriptions, etc.
Yeah, ironically, we've seen actually a boost in interest among our client brands and having their own spokesperson out on TV in addition to the other points that you mentioned. Is that something that might be an exception for the food and beverage marketplace, or does that apply as well?
Oh, it's definitely not an exception. Expert positioning, thought leadership within the internal team, trend stories, and crisis communications, those are always going to be critical components of a successful communications plan. And the pandemic actually heightened the need to have a strong strategy in these areas. We had to be very sensitive about the way in which we were pitching products. So we took that opportunity for heightened storytelling. For example, there was a lot of noise around supply chain challenges, and we were able to infiltrate those conversations with thought leadership from key executives. Right now, we've still got constrained supply issues with the impending recession. We've also got pricing and inflation issues as well. And, consumers are more interested than ever before in the origin story of the products they love. And topics related to the environment, like regenerative agriculture and sustainability, are very hot.
Great. And so how are you measuring impact? Because obviously that's an advantage with some of the more interactive platforms where you can get immediate feedback and see more clearly if it leads to a purchase decision. What are some of the ways you're measuring that?
So it's not an exact science yet, because there are many paths throughout the consumer journey that lead to product purchase, and awareness building is still a large part of what we do. But we can do things like monitoring conversation and sales generated through our press coverage through our affiliate dashboards. We can also report on the total impact of our clients' paid and organic presence on social media through individual insights dashboards, as well as enabling pixels to track consumers from exposure to purchase through paid social ads. These things are going to continue to get more and more sophisticated. I think it's an exciting evolution for communicators as we build these integrated programs for our clients.
If you're looking into your crystal ball, what do you think is coming down the pike? What will be the next new big thing? Are we going to see food and beverage stories in the metaverse, or is it something else that might be out there?
I think that's very possible. I definitely don't have a crystal ball, but I think a heavier reliance on Video is going to be critical, as we've seen that through, social networks like TikTok. Bringing that experience to life through influencers is going to continue to be critically important. So I think the most important thing we can do as communicators is really be keeping up on the evolution of these technological advances.
That's great. Well, you've done a great job in helping our audience keep up on some of the revolutionary changes that have really taken place the last 2+ years. Thanks so much for being part of the program.
Thanks, Doug. I appreciate it.